The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation.
Hello everybody and welcome to the NASCAR Legend Series Season number 3, Race number 6, Under the Lights from McDonald's Motor Speedway. This is the first Under the Lights race ever hosted in the NASCAR Legend Series. We tried in Season 2, but the lights went out. Technical failure prevented that from happening, so this is going to be the first real night race. Now, let's get into some news. Ryan Newman, because of his injury at Daytona, in the Daytona 500, Jamie McMurray is replacing him. Ryan Blaney is replacing Brad Keselowski from his injury last race, race number 5, with this conflict with Kyle Busch, who's being replaced by Kyle Larson. Now, some of the cars to look at. Carl Edwards very fast this weekend. And now we look at the replacements. Ryan Blaney for Brad Keselowski, who's hurt. Jamie McMurray for Ryan Newman, who's hurt, and Kyle Larson for Kyle Busch, who is suspended until Brad Keselowski's return. And then Bill Elliott is also here, representing the McDonald's crew, who's paid a lot of money for this race, I can tell you that much. Now we get to the starting lineup. It's going to be Jamie McMurray and Kyle Larson on row number 1 in twin McDonald's cars. Row number 2 is Cale Yarborough and Darrell Waltrip. Row number 3 is going to be Matt Kenseth and the 6 of Mark Martin. Row number 4 is Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart. Following them, row number 5 is Bill Elliott and Rusty Wallace. Row number 6 is going to be Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon, both Hendrick cars. Row number 7 is Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ryan Blaney, replacing Keselowski. Then it's going to be Dale Jarrett and Denny Hamlin, followed by Joey Logano and Kurt Busch. Then Michael Waltrip and Martin Truex Jr. And then the last row, it's going to be Richard Petty and Kevin Harvick. As we now move on to today's race facts, it's going to be a 15-lap race with stages of laps 5, 10, and 15. Jamie McMurray is on the pole. There's a 0% chance of rain today, which means it will be, for sure, the first night race of NASCAR Legend Series history. And we've already got a problem. Kyle Larson hard into the wall. Jamie McMurray involved. The two behind him, Cale Yarborough and Darrell Waltrip, also involved. Wreck off of lap 1 on the back straightaway. What happened here? Looks like Jamie McMurray pushed up the corner, got loose, hit Kyle Larson into the grass. He couldn't save it. Kyle Larson goes hard into the wall. Cale Yarborough and Darrell Waltrip just in unfortunate places. Wrong place at the wrong time as we look at it live. Really hard hit for Kyle Larson. Hope everybody's okay. It looks like they are as the safety crew continues to work on him, as we are going to look at this replay one more time. And these are the fastest 4 cars in the field according to qualifying. So huge impacts on the race, leaves it kind of wide open for everyone else. Look out for Carl Edwards, who we said was fast. He might have an easier run at it now. Big accident for the people in front. They're all alright though. They're all pulled into the garage. Their race day is done. The green flag is back out as Mark Martin will lead them. And that's going to be Matt Kenseth in second, Tony Stewart in third. Now Carl Edwards as he slices his way up through the field. Now charging after Matt Kenseth with a big head of steam. He's going to go to the inside and take that spot away. But it won't be in time for the stage win though, as Mark Martin will take it. As Carl Edwards now tries to run him down as they all approach lap traffic. Approaching Martin Truex Jr., who's found himself in the back of the pack as we go on board with Mark Martin, chasing the number 19. And it'll give him a bump. The two 19s are beside each other now, and Martin Truex Jr.'s into the tire barriers. Right off the end of the defensive wall, protecting that light from the inside, and into the tire barriers hard, buried himself actually. Martin Truex Jr. will draw even with Carl Edwards. Then you see Carl Edwards get by, Martin Truex Jr. slow, and Tony Stewart just punts him out of the way into those tires. Tony Stewart was not waiting for him to move, but I also think that it could have been like a case where he couldn't move. That corner is pretty much really one lane. You can't move to the outside without losing tons of time. And Martin Truex Jr. couldn't get to that outside because of Carl Edwards. But now he's being pulled out of the tires. The tires are being replaced. And the stage 2 will end under caution. Mark Martin wins stage number 2. Can he sweep this race, as others have done in past races? As now the newest member of the garage has found his place. And the green flag is back on your way. Oh! Crash immediately. Caution, it's going to be for Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt Jr. into the wall right off the start. It looks like here Joey Logano gets into the back of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Rusty Wallace and Jr. lock up here. Big incident right off the start for them. They weren't going too fast, so head-on collision still unfortunate, but not worst case scenario. As now this front side of the garage is full as we are heading towards a green-white checkered. We're going to start on lap number 14. 2 laps to go. Mark Martin will have the lead here. Carl Edwards still chasing with a big head of steam. He's been the fastest car here all day. But now we're at the white flag. Does Carl Edwards have time to pass him? He has one more corner to find out, and he has a run on the number 6 car. Through the carousel-like corner, and Tony Stewart's going to get through the bottom. Carl Edwards' bump and run goes horribly wrong. He'll set himself back in position as Tony Stewart wins this race. You see Mark Martin get a great jump here on Carl Edwards. He's going to be able to keep him behind him until this final corner. They come off of that far corner, and then Carl Edwards creates room for Tony Stewart there when he bumps the 6 up the track. Carl Edwards can't get down to complete the pass. Tony Stewart is going to be your winner today as he burns it out on the front stretch here at McDonald's Motor Speedway. An incredibly exciting race here with Tony Stewart coming out as a surprising victor, his first win since season number 1. Now we look at the points. Carl Edwards is a virtual lock, 50 points from the cut line. After that, Mark Martin's 24 up, and then it starts to get closer. The cut line is separated by 5 points, as you see the back half of the runners here. The last person with a legitimate shot is likely Kurt Busch. Everyone else may be too far behind to catch up. And then Darrell Waltrip, sadly enough, is just about confirmed eliminated. 50 points back. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I am so sorry that this race took so long to come out. Do not expect any more night racing for a while. This was incredibly grueling and difficult to make. The next race will be at Tropical Smoothie Cafe, which I can already tell you, Tropical Smoothie Cafe Speedway, and it is going to be a fun one. And it should come out much quicker now with the unfortunate fact that COVID-19 is doing what it's doing. Because it's keeping us all indoors though, it will give me more time to work on this project. Hopefully it'll be out within the usual month time frame, if not sooner. Don't know how many laps it's going to be or anything like that yet. But anyways, thank you guys for sticking around with me through the hiatus. I have a few more projects that'll hopefully go up in the weeks between these 2 races. And remember, next race is race number 7, the penultimate race before the regular season finale. So 2 races to go before the playoffs. Who gets in? Who is cut? Find out, or get closer to finding out next week. Thank you everybody so much for watching this race, and I hope you all have a good night.